You've been hearing the same story for months. Prices are down, inventory is high, it's a buyer's market. Everyone keeps telling you to wait. Wait for the bottom, wait for the crash, wait until dealers get desperate. Here's what nobody is telling you. The bottom isn't coming. The crash already came. And what's happening right now in dealerships across North America is the complete opposite of what every YouTube expert is predicting. Today, I'm going to show you why 2027 is shaping up to be one of the most brutal years in ATV history. Not for buyers, for availability, for prices, for anyone who's been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a deal that's never coming. If you're a senior rider from the US, Canada, or Europe who's been holding off on buying, this video might be the most important one I've ever made. Let me start with the news that broke just days ago. The breaking news that changes everything. On April 15th, 2026, BRP, the parent company of Can-Am, dropped a bombshell. They are suspending the entire FY 27-year model guidance. All 2026 model year UTVs shipping to the USA, minus the Defender models, have been paused indefinitely until they figure out the tariff situation. Let me translate that from corporate speak into English. BRP has stopped shipping, not slowed. Stopped. Their entire production guidance for 2027 has been suspended, and they're not alone. Here's what one forum member posted in response, and it cuts straight to the heart of the matter. One of the unfortunate results is the carryover with higher pricing when they do come back in. Dealers need to make up for lost revenue. Read that again. Dealers need to make up for lost revenue. When the shipping resumes, and it will resume, the prices aren't going back to where they were. They're going higher. Much higher. Because dealers have months of fixed costs to cover. Rent, salaries, interest on inventory that isn't arriving. All of that gets added to the first machines that finally show up. The 2027 crash isn't a price crash. It's an availability crash. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to wake up next year with no new ATV and no way to get one at a reasonable price. Now pause here. Have you heard about the BRP shipping pause? Did any of the big ATV channels mention it? Probably not. Comment below if this is the first you're hearing about it. Because the next piece of evidence is even more direct. What the numbers actually say. I want to show you something that the market is crashing crowd keeps ignoring. The actual forecasts. According to a comprehensive market analysis published just days ago, the global ATV market was valued at $3.49 billion in 2026 and is projected to reach $4.38 billion by 2035, with a compound annual growth rate of 2.6%. That's not a crash, that's growth. Another major research firm puts the numbers even higher. The global ATV market was valued at $4.57 billion in 2025 and is projected to grow to $4.82 billion in 2026, reaching $6.73 billion by 2032, at a CAGR of 5.68%. 5.68% annual growth. In a crashing market? No. That's a healthy, growing market. And here's the specific number that should scare anyone who's waiting for prices to drop. A third research firm reports that the global ATV market reached $5,673 million in 2025 and is anticipated to reach $7,098 million by 2032 at a CAGR of 3.3%. Let me add up what these three independent forecasts are telling us. The ATV market is growing. Not shrinking, not crashing. Growing. And it's growing at a steady, predictable rate of 3 to 6% per year. So if the market is growing, why are you hearing about a crash? Because you're listening to the wrong people. You're listening to YouTubers who need clicks. You're listening to forum posters who are angry about their own bad decisions. You're not listening to the data. Now pause here. How many of you have been told by someone that the ATV market is collapsing? Who told you that? Comment below, because the next section is where I explain why this rumor started and who benefits from it. where the crash story came from. Let me tell you the truth about the so-called ATV crash. It's not a crash, it's a correction, and it's almost over. During the pandemic, something unprecedented happened. People had stimulus money, people had time, people couldn't travel, so they bought ATVs, millions of them. Production ramped up, prices went crazy. Used machines sold for more than new ones. It was a bubble. Everyone knew it. Everyone said so. Then the bubble popped. Not because ATVs became less desirable, because supply finally caught up with demand, and interest rates went up, and pandemic savings ran out. That's not a crash. That's a return to normal. But return to normal doesn't get clicks. __, quote _4, ___ gets clicks. So every ATV channel on YouTube started screaming about the crash. Here's what they're not telling you. The correction is nearly complete. Used prices have stabilized. New inventory is moving. And now, with the tariffs and the shipping pauses, we're about to see the opposite problem. Not too much supply, too little. The same analysts who predicted the post-pandemic correction are now predicting a supply squeeze starting in late 2026 and continuing through 2027. That means higher prices, longer wait times, less negotiation room, the exact opposite of what the crash channels have been promising. The tariff effect, nobody is talking about. Let me get specific about the tariffs, because this is where the real story hides. The 2025 U.S. tariff policies introduced profound uncertainty into the global economic landscape. Multiple market research reports explicitly cite these tariffs as a major factor affecting the ATV market. What does that mean for you? It means every ATV that crosses a border just got more expensive. Components, finished machines, replacement parts, everything. Manufacturers have three choices: eat the cost and reduce their profit margins, pass the cost to dealers, or pass the cost to you. Which do you think they're choosing? But here's the part that the doom and gloom channels don't understand. The same tariffs that increase prices also restrict supply. When import costs rise, smaller manufacturers might pause shipments entirely. That's exactly what we're seeing with BRP. Less supply plus steady demand equals higher prices. That's not economics. That's gravity. Why 2027 will be different than you think. Let me paint you a picture of what 2027 actually looks like based on the data, not the hype. First, inventory will be tighter. The shipping pauses we're seeing now will create a gap in the supply chain. That gap will hit the showroom floor in late 2026 and early 2027. Fewer machines available means less negotiation room. Less negotiating room means higher prices. Second, used prices will stabilize and could rise. When new machines become harder to find, buyers turn to the used market. Increased demand for used machines pushes used prices up. If you've been waiting for used prices to drop further, you might have already missed the bottom. Third, electric ATVs will continue growing but slowly. The electric ATV market is real. It's growing. It reached $894 million in 2025 and is projected to reach $1.172 billion by 2032. But that's still a small fraction of the overall market. Gas ATVs aren't going anywhere. Not in 2027. Not for a long time. Fourth, the shift to side-by-sides will continue. Polaris reported that side-by-side sales rose from 510,000 units in 2019 to 525,000 in 2025, while ATV sales dipped slightly from 260,000 to 255,000 units. That's a shift, not a collapse. ATVs are still selling, just not at pandemic peak levels. Fifth, the 400 to 800 cubic centimeter segment will lead growth. According to the most recent forecasts, ATVs in the 400 to 800 cubic centimeters engine capacity range are anticipated to lead growth over the forecast period. That's the sweet spot for most senior riders. Machines like the Honda Foreman, Yamaha Grizzly, and Suzuki King Quad. Exactly the machines I've been recommending. What this means for your wallet, let me give you specific numbers so you understand what's at stake. Based on the market forecasts, the global ATV market is expected to grow from $3.49 billion in 2026 to $4.38 billion by 2035. That's an increase of 25% over 9 years. Inflation adjusted, that's modest growth. But it's not a crash. More importantly, the market research shows that ATV production in 2024 was approximately 620,000 units globally. That's down from pandemic peaks, but still healthy. Production capacity is there. The question is whether tariffs and trade policies will allow that production to reach dealers. And here's the number that should worry you. The average global market price of an ATV is around $8,800 per unit. That's the average. Some are less, some are much more. But that's the baseline. If supply tightens by even 10% in 2027, prices could rise by 15 to 20%. That's an extra $1,300 to $1,700 on an $8,800 machine. On a $15,000 Can-Am, that's an extra $2,500 to $3,000. Are you willing to pay an extra $3,000 because you waited for a crash that never came? The models to watch in 2027. Based on everything I've laid out, here's what I expect to happen to specific models from our list in 2027. Honda 4Trax Foreman 4x4. This machine is the most resilient to market disruptions. Honda's supply chain is robust. Their dealer network is deep. Their customers are loyal. The Foreman will be available in 2027, but prices will be higher. Buy sooner rather than later. Yamaha Grizzly 700 and Kodiak 700. Same story as Honda. Yamaha has managed their production well. They didn't overproduce during the pandemic like some competitors. Their supply will be steadier, but tariffs will still affect prices. Can-Am Outlander and Renegade. This is the biggest question mark. BRP's shipping pause is a warning sign. If the tariff situation isn't resolved, Can-Am availability could be severely limited in 2027. If you want a Can-Am, don't wait. Buy now if you can find one. Polaris Sportsman Models. Polaris has the largest market share. They have the most to lose from supply disruptions. They're also the most experienced at navigating trade issues. Expect Polaris to be available but at higher prices. CF Moto and Arctic Cat. These brands are the most vulnerable. Their supply chains are thinner. Their dealer networks are smaller. If tariffs bite, they might pause shipments entirely. If you're considering a CF Moto or Arctic Cat, buy now. Or be prepared to wait. Yamaha Raptor 700 and YFZ 450R. Sport quads are a niche market. They'll be available in 2027, but production volumes might drop. If you want a sport quad, don't wait for a better deal. The deals aren't wait for a better deal. The deals aren't coming. What you should do right now. I'm going to give you advice that goes against everything the crash channels are saying, based on the actual data, based on the actual market, based on the actual supply chain disruptions that are happening right now. If you want a new ATV, buy it now. Not next month, not next season. Now. Here's why. The best time to buy was 6 months ago when dealers were desperate to clear inventory. The second best time is right now, before the supply chain disruptions from the shipping pauses and tariffs hit the showroom floor. If you wait until 2027, you will pay more. You will wait longer, and you will have fewer choices. I know this isn't what you wanted to hear. I know every other channel is telling you to wait for the crash. They're wrong. The data says they're wrong. The shipping pauses say they're wrong. The market forecasts say they're wrong. How to buy smart in this market. If I've convinced you to stop waiting, here's how to buy smart. First, decide what you want, not what's available, what you actually want. From our list, do your research, know the specs, know the common problems, know the market price. Second, call 3 dealers tomorrow. Ask if they have the machine in stock. Ask if they can get it. Ask for an out-the-door price. Compare, negotiate. But don't wait. If a dealer has what you want at a fair price, buy it. Third, be prepared to pay cash or bring your own financing. Interest rates are still high. Dealer financing is still marked up. Come prepared. Cash is king in a tightening market. Fourth, don't wait for the 2027 models. The 2026 models are fine. The 2025 models are fine. The changes from year to year are minimal. If you find a 2025 or 2026 model at a good price, buy it. Don't get caught waiting for next year's color. Fifth, consider buying used if you're on a tight budget. But act quickly. The used market bottom has likely passed. If you see a clean used machine at a fair price, don't hesitate. It won't last. The final verdict. The ATV market is not crashing in 2027. It's stabilizing after the pandemic correction. And now it's facing new pressures from tariffs and shipping disruptions. The crash narrative is helpful to no one except YouTubers who need views. It's not helpful to you. It's not helpful to the senior writer who wants one more new machine. It's not helpful to the person who's been waiting for a deal that's never coming. Based on everything I've seen, based on the shipping pauses that are happening right now, based on the market forecasts that show steady growth, the best time to buy was yesterday. The second best time is today. Don't wait for 2027. You'll be disappointed. You'll pay more, and you might not get the machine you wanted at all. Your turn. Now I want to hear from you. Have you been waiting for the crash? Are you going to keep waiting, or are you buying now? And for anyone who bought in the last 6 months, what did you pay? What model? Are you happy with your decision? Share your story in the comments. The seniors in this audience need real data, not hype, not fear. Real experiences from real buyers. Next week, I'm making a video about the ATV models that are actually increasing in value right now. Yes, they exist, and you won't believe which ones. Hit like if you want to see it. Until then, keep the rubber side down and don't believe the crash hype. The data doesn't lie. The shipping pauses don't lie, and neither do I.